Hello, everybody. You know, I'm back live. I'm back live on Twitter. You know, they cut my video off. You know, I'm going to go on and read. We will be in Washington, D.C., Million Women's March with 1 million black men in support, 1 million women. We charge genocide. I'm going to be reading the document about the European response to the new information out that shows the people responsible for coming over here to steal the native land of the African people. We were already here 20,000 years before 1492, and there is a DNA test in the United Nations that proves it. Now, the Million Woman March is coming before the United Nations, and we will be on the Washington Mall after we present the We Charge Genocide to the United Nations. I'm going to read this document about the people responsible, and hopefully it will stay on. They keep blocking it and turn it off. Privileges, and this is the document right here that shows the people responsible for subduing the islands and killing all the people, and also the continent that they were sent over here to subjugate us and steal our land and install themselves as governors, viceroys, dons, and tell us what justice and law is. So we go before the United Nations and before the world. We want our land back, and then we want to talk about the European problem and what we need to do with these people once we receive our continent back. Privileges and prerogatives granted to the Catholic magistrates, right here. The Catholic privileges to the majesties of Christopher Columbus. The Catholic. You know, while y'all over there worshiping these people and hollering about they your friend and you love them and you love their God, well, this is what they doing to you. This is why Africa's in the condition that it's in today. Ferdinand and Elizabeth, by the grace of God, King and Queen of Castle of Leon and of Sicily. These are all the people responsible right here. Of Sicily, Granada of Toledo, of Sicily of Granada of Toledo, and Vansalia of Gasali, and Marcinito of Messina, and Seville of Sardinia, and Jerem of Al-Jaziri, and of Gibraltar, and the Canary Islands, Count and Countess of Barcelona, you are responsible for war crimes and crimes against humanity, the worst that have ever been seen, and your families for carrying it on, all these people, okay? We're going before the United Nations to charge these people with genocide. We want our continent back, and we're going to think about you people need to leave since you're talking about what we need to do in our continent. This document explains it all. Countess and Countess of Barcelona, Lord and Lady of Bisca of Melania, Duke and Duchess of Athens, you are responsible, and your families. Count and Countess of Barcelona and Sardinia, and Marcus and Marcinus of Austin of Gotcha, and C. For as you, we're going to make sure this is on, for as much as you, Christopher Columbus, are going by our command, with some of the vessels and men to discover and subdue the islands of the continent in the ocean, it is hoped that by God's assistance, some of the said islands and continent in the ocean will be discovered and conquered by your means and conducted thereof in by just and reasonable. This is to expose yourself to such danger to serve her to go kill humanity and steal their stuff. It's what she's talking about. It's what the Catholic Church saying this right here. Okay, they're all responsible. The Catholic Church, Ferdinand, and Elizabeth, and their families for generations after that carrying it on. They're not the only ones. The Duchess and Duchess, Duke and Duchess of Athens, Countess and Countess of Barcelona. See, you wonder why in Brazil they're over treating the black people, the native people of the land like this. This is why. This answers all the questions why you don't have a right to do nothing. And we will be willing to honor and favor you for the reasons aforesaid, and will is that you, Christopher Columbus, after discovering and conquering the said islands and continent in the said ocean, or any of them shall be our admiral and islands and continent you shall discover and conquer, that you be our admiral, viceroy, and governor in them, and that for the future you may call and steal yourself a president or what? President who? A European? No. You are an invader. You don't have a right to nothing over here. Okay? By this document. By your own document. You are a liar, a murderer, and a thief. Okay? D. Christopher Columbus is the people that get mad at the truth. Because see, they get taught this when they're kids. And that your sons and successors in the said employment may call themselves dons, admirals, viceroys, governors of them. Well, you can call yourself whatever you want. You are nothing. This paper just busts you out. You ain't nothing. Okay? Governor and said islands of the continent, which you or your lieutenants shall conquer freely, decide all causes, civil and criminal. Hey, come on now. We need to wipe away everything that they taught. That's the reason there's a million books on the law, and you can't file them out. Because they come here to subjugate the people, to exterminate all the people, and to remove you from your land. Fact. We go before the United Nations. We charge genocide, and now we need to talk about removing the European problem from our native land. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about a non-violent situation to deal with these people. All I can tell them to do is launch your weapons so we can be rid of them, because you're going to have to go. The reason they got all these weapons, the reason they got all this giant military is not for ISIS or nobody else. It's so they can steal the continent. Okay? The truth. All this stuff don't exist. They created all that stuff. They creating all these enemies to keep this right here going so they can subjugate the people and the continent so they can steal it. The whole continent. Not some, not sure, not nothing. Okay? You know, you need the truth and you need it raw. I'm tired of these devils getting up here trying to tell me I'm full of hate. Well, you people are the liars, the murderers, the genocide committers, and the thieves. Not me. By facts. Not by my words. The light of truth is not hate. When you are killing people and stealing from people, that's hate. You got it twisted. You teach lies and fairy tales, trying to run away from your responsibilities of the evil that you are responsible for. Okay, we're going to Facebook Live with this too. We're going to read this to the world. We taught of y'all. Admirals and kings to do that you have the power to punish offenders, and you and your lieutenants exercise and deploy them. This means gun you down in the streets. And this is why they're not charged with a crime. What they did to do this, they went through all 50 states, because see, this ain't their land. So they created a tort law in all 50 states that give them sovereign immunity, where they're not subject to the laws or the Constitution of the United States of America, which the black people created to try to welcome them to be a part of our country, and then they stepped up and started killing everybody. That's why the black man, John Hanson, was the first president. All their history is lies. Their religion is a lie. All of this was done so that the Catholic Church, the Queen, and all these people got together so they can go and kill and steal the African world gold, diamonds, and resources. If you don't believe me, turn on your TV and manifest in your community. You got kings and queens and princesses running around hollering about worshiping the white men. Well, you've been socially engineered to destroy yourself and your own people, because them are fairy tales and lies. You go back and study the truth in the age of information, these people don't even exist. They talking about in Mecca at the Kaaba and all that. Well, first of all, Abraham, that's not even his real name. He came off the Egyptian hieroglyphs, and you need to learn his real name and the real story, because the European and the Arab created their books in order to steal the land and resources of the African people. That's why you got Arabs in Egypt over your stuff. Okay? We're just going to bring the truth. All this is done because of this document. Okay? Are we still on? Yeah, we still live. We busting it up here. They blocked the last one, y'all, and cut it out. We're going to go on and read this. High Admiral of Kingdoms do in this letter to copy is signed in public notice. We command Prince John and and dearly beloved son and infants, dukes, prelates, marquises, great masters in military orders, priors, commanders, and counselors, judges, and other officers of justice whatsoever belonging to the courts and council and constables and councils, strong houses and others, and corporations, bailiffs, governors, judges, commanders, sea officers, aldermen, common council officers, good people of the city. You mean liars and genocide committers and murderers. Hey, y'all ain't good people. They are all in it together, and it's explaining how they all in it together, right? And they putting action on it because we living it today, okay? Strong house and others, and all corporations, bailiffs, governors, and judges, commanders, and sea officers, aldermen, common council officers, good people in cities, land placed in our kingdom and dominions, and in those you shall conquer and subdue. And captains, masters, mates, and others, officers of the sailors and natural subjects, now being or shall not for the time come, and to shall have discovered and said islands of the continent and the ocean. You or any that shall have your commission shall have taken usual oath in the cases that for the future upon you are alive and after your son's heir, so for one heir to another. So they're going to steal our land, they're going to steal our resources, deny us anything, and pass it on to their children to carry it on. It's right here in writing. It says, Ocean and Viceroy, Governor of the island and continent by yours, Christopher. Okay, I already read that. You know, no I didn't. Christopher Columbus discovered, conquered the threat. You and your lieutenant, executive employments of admiral, viceroy, governor should respect and give you all prerequisites belonging appertaining to said officers allowed, and cause to be allowed all honors, grace, concession, prejudice, immunities, and others. They have immunity to commit genocide. That's why they're not charged with a crime. It's right here in this document. You're sitting here looking at it, right here. You know, immunities. They have immunity, man, to go around and kill humanity. A fact. So all you demons out there, and had some sports lady get up there and say my comment was the worst she ever heard. Well, let me tell you something. The only reason you got your job is because the color of your skin, and because the Catholic Church and the Duchess, who is this? The Count and Countess of Barcelona, the Duchess, Duke and Duchess of Athens, and all these people have sent these people over to commit genocide. You are not intelligent. You are not nothing. You're a piece of dirt, run around trying to play like and to continue to kill our people and steal our continent. Well, I'm going to put the light of truth on you. If you talking about you don't like me, well, I know why you don't now. I ain't got to wonder. Remember, this is the age of information, and ignorance is a choice. We have to wake up, organize, show up at the Million Woman March, October 28th, Washington Mall, 2017, Washington, D.C., and we shall stand, we shall walk, and we shall do by any means necessary, and we shall take our continent back from these demons, murderers, and genocide committers. Remember, Martin Luther King said it best. We don't need leaders in love with money. We need leaders in love with justice. We don't need leaders in love with publicity. We need leaders in love with humanity. And Mandela, it always seems impossible until it's done. Remember, I am you and you are me. And I love you. And never stop fighting for your children. Each one, teach one. The truth is the way and the light. They say the Catholic Church is responsible. Privileged prodigies granted by the Catholic magistrates to Christopher Columbus to commit genocide and murder humanity and destroy cultures for generations to come. Very, very sad. Wow. They wanted the truth, they got the truth. We charge genocide.